Hello. I just want to go over some of the thoughts I had for today, which is June the 10th. Often the richness of the Psalms that are included in the liturgy, I think, get missed. There's a lot of different parts of the Mass that have Psalms read, not just the reflection Psalm, but some of the other ones. And I think there's such a beauty and a value for us if we actually look at those different Psalms. So I'd like to do now is just read. They're just one verse of several Psalms, but to read them. So this is for the Mass of the day on the 10th. The psalmist says in Psalm 27, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" And again in Psalm 16, "Keep me safe, O God. You are my hope. Teach me your path, my God, and guide me in your truth," in Psalm 25. And the psalmist says with great certainty in Psalm 18, "The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my saving strength." The psalmist cries out to God and pleads for help and safety, for understanding and guidance from God. The psalmist states his case for identifying in the Lord. During my time as a kid, I guess I want to say, I grew up in Washington, D.C. And I've witnessed now, of course, on television day after day, scenes from Washington, D.C. We often were downtown. And the first time it really came to my, I guess, consciousness is in the summer of 1960, when there were riots in Northwest Washington because of segregation and because of the lack of the ability for people to get along together and to use the same recreational facilities. So again, in 1967, when I was in high school, 68, right after Martin Luther King was killed, there were protests in Washington, D.C., and subsequently the Poor People's Campaign, or what later became known as Resurrection City, was at the mall in Washington, D.C. For 41 days, 20 of those which rained, and those people who were camped out there had a really difficult time in the heat and humidity. I remember that as a junior in high school. My mother drove to get my immigrant grandmother from D.C., from 16th Street, which we hear so often in the news. She lived alone in an apartment. It took my mother a 3-hour round trip to get her back to Arlington, Virginia. Those are some memories of my youth. And then when I came to the University of Michigan in 1969, the windows were boarded up on South U and Church Street. There was a Black Action Movement, there was the SDS, there was the Black Panthers, and there was a protest against the war in Vietnam. And there was Cynthia standing at the Cube Plaza when the buses drove up with the National Guard to clear out the space because the students had taken over the administration building. I was just there to witness it. And I went back to Cousins Hall very quickly so my father didn't see me on national news. But I think about these things now and I go, God, you were in the midst of those things. Are you in the midst of these things now during our lifetime? I conclude God is still with us in the midst of things for us. And the psalmist can cry out again today, just as in days of old. Keep me safe, O God. You are my hope. Teach me your truth. Send me on your paths. So I just want to conclude by reading from the collect from today's Mass. I found over the years, if I listen to the collect, I get so much out of it. It is a prayer that touches my heart, and I go back and meditate on it frequently. So the collect from today. O God, from whom all good things come, grant that we who call upon you in our need may at your prompting discern what is right. By your guidance, do it. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me, and hopefully we'll see you soon. God bless you.